Can Nikola Jokic win his fourth MVP? This is your Denver Sports Daily for January 22nd.
The biggest stories, the latest news. It's Denver Sports Daily.
The Nuggets dominated the Philadelphia 76ers last night in a game that really wasn't even a contest. Nikola Jokic recorded his fourth triple-double in a row in their blowout 144-109 win. Now, the shorthanded Sixers came into this game as huge underdogs as they were missing their MVP in Joel Embiid. But what did they expect? He hasn't played a game in Denver in 1,897 days, and yesterday was no different. He skipped for his fifth year in a row. Just unfortunate for the Sixers, obviously, but fortunate for the Nuggets because they were able to get that huge win. Now, Jokic led Denver in every stat with 27 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, and 4 steals. He also had 1 block, which brings his question. It brings up the question: is he already the runaway favorite for MVP? He's averaging 30 points per game, 13.2 rebounds per game, 9.9 assists, and 56% from the field and 47% from three. Look at those stats. That's nuts. He's third in the NBA for points per game, third in the NBA for rebounds per game, and second in the NBA for assists per game. No player in the history of the National Basketball Association has ever finished top 3 in all of those stats. Now, we are halfway through the season, so barring that he takes a sharp decline at the end of the season, he is on pace for another historic season. Historic. It doesn't get better than this. He is obviously the best player on the Nuggets. He is clearly the best player in the world. He should be the MVP. Now, right now, he is second in voting, not necessarily voting, but in the rankings, the power rankings, and in the betting odds. He is second behind Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, which in my eyes is ridiculous. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has a lot of great teammates around him. Now, so does Nikola Jokic. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is shooting, 8 free throws a game, 9 free throws a game. He's averaging around that much. It's just incredible that the NBA can be so clear with their, I don't want to say bias, but they get tired. They get voter fatigue. And Jokic, you can't get voter fatigue with Jokic because every single year he excels. He gets better. He gets better every single year. It's really no contest to who's the best player in the world. It's Nikola Jokic. Now, last night, Christian Braun also stepped up, notching 20 points. But the star of the game, despite Jokic, was Julian Strawther. He came off the bench and knocked down 5 threes and put up 23 points of his own. Incredible play from him off the bench. It really seemed like he couldn't miss from that three-point line. He was playing incredible. If you watch the game, every time he came in, they just sparked it up. Now, and the best part about this is that the Nuggets were shooting threes. They were shooting threes and making them. This team does not shoot threes often. They're one of the worst three-point shootings in the team, a bad free throw shooting team. But with games like this, that can change. That really can. The bench play yesterday was incredible. With Nikola Jokic sitting down, it's really hard for the Nuggets to keep a lead, and they did it. They won by over 30 points. With Nikola Jokic sitting for a good amount of the game, he recorded that triple-double in less than 30 minutes. He didn't have to play the whole game, and this team still went out there and dominated. Now, after this win, Denver has now won 3 in a row, all by double digits, and they will play again tomorrow against the Sacramento Kings. It is Rivals Week, so the other big matchup this week is against the Timberwolves, and that is this Saturday. Now, moving on, it is an Avalanche game day. Tonight, the Avs are taking on the Winnipeg Jets in a much anticipated matchup. Now, last time these two teams met was earlier this month on January 11th when the Jets shut out the Avs and won 3-0, unfortunately. Now, the Avs have yet to get on track so far in January. They haven't won or lost 2 in a row for this whole month. They've been back and forth, win-loss, win-loss. So if that stands true, if that pattern stands, they should get the win tonight after their loss to the Wild on Monday. But what they need to do now is break out of that kind of slump. It's funny that I'm calling it a slump because they're winning games still. They're winning, losing. They're going exactly 500 for the month of January. For the year of 2025, they're exactly at 500. And this is a slump. This is a slump for the Avalanche, but that shouldn't be taken for granted. If this is your slump, then that's pretty good overall. If you're still winning and losing, you have yet to get on track, you're going 500, that's not terrible. Now what they need to do is increase it, get 2 wins in a row. That'll break them out. That's all that you need. That's all that you need. Just get 2 wins in a row, and then you get on a roll. That really is all it is. It's momentum. Momentum matters in sports. Get momentum, build up more than 1 win in a row, and you are going to see more follow after that. You really are. Now, Winnipeg is on top of the Central Division right now with their record of 31-14-3. So a win here for the Avs could give them a good edge for the rest of the season and even up the series at 2-2. Now, the Avs are headed into this game as very slight favorites, and that game will start tonight at 7:30 p.m. Now, moving on, it's the best weekend in football. Some say it's last weekend with college football championship and, all the divisional round matchups. And sure, that's a great weekend for football. But this weekend is where it really matters. Who do you guys have winning this weekend? It's the NFL Conference Championships. And this weekend, oh boy, are they going to be intense. The first game is the Washington Commanders at the Philadelphia Eagles. That's going to be interesting to watch. Now, people have been blowing off the Commanders since the beginning of the playoffs, and they've surprised the entire league. After beating the Buccaneers first and then the Lions, I would not be surprised if Washington pulls off another upset against the Eagles. Now, the Eagles are going into this game as 6-point favorites, and they will kick off this Sunday at 1 p.m., but the Eagles are looking hot, especially with Saquon Barkley, another 200-yard game for him in the playoffs. It's incredible. So the Commander, it's going to be a tough battle, but the Commanders have continued to surprise, and if there's any team, if there's any rookie out there that I'm seeing, this guy could be the first one to go to a Super Bowl. He could be that rookie to bring a team to a Super Bowl. That never happened before. A rookie quarterback never happened before. And he could. This team is so sound. They're bringing pieces together. The Eagles might be scared. And obviously, a little bit of this is biased because who really wants to see another Eagles-Chiefs matchup? I know I don't. I want to see the Commanders get past. And I would hope that most people around the world want to see the Commanders get past. I don't think there's very many people seeing the Eagles as a team that they want to go and win another Super Bowl. That really isn't on very many people's cards, I don't think. Now, the second game of the day is the one that everybody is looking forward to. Once again, the Bills and the Chiefs will face off in a heavyweight bout. Josh Allen and the Bills are heading to Kansas City to take on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. This game could very well decide who wins the Super Bowl, honestly. Both of these teams are stacked. The Chiefs, sure, they haven't looked as great as they've looked in the past. They aren't blowing teams out, but they're winning games. Sure, the margin can be this small. They're winning games. That team is great, but the Bills are looking dangerous. I've never seen a team look about as good as the Bills. The Bills are dominating. They are a force of nature. They are a force to be reckoned with. They are going out there, dominating teams, closing out games. I got the Bills in this one. The Chiefs are 2-point favorites right now, and their game will kick off at 4:30 p.m. this Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Very excited for those two matchups. It's the conference championship weekend. It's the best time of year. It really is. Basketball, hockey, full effect. It's really, we're getting into a great time of the season right here for all of our leagues. Now, that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I do want to read some of your comments. Let's see. I want the Bills to win. That means they beat the Chiefs and the refs. Yeah, no, the Chiefs are going to be out there playing with 17 guys on the field. They are. I mean, you know it. I don't want to hate too much on the refs because, every time a game ends in a certain way, people are going to find the refs to blame it. But there have been some seriously bad calls that have gone the way of the Chiefs. And we've seen that. And I'm not going to deny that it's there. But if there's any team to beat them, it's the Bills. I'm right with you on that one. Let's see. Joey, is tonight's Av game a must-win versus the Jets? We just lost to the Wild in the division. Yes. I mean, it's still halfway through the season, so that's the way you got to look at it. There's no game quite yet that's a must-win. There aren't games that are must-wins until you're getting to the playoffs, but this is about as close as it gets. A division rival, a divisional game, you got to go out there. The Avs are 4th in the division. They need to make a stand and start winning these games in the division, and that's going to make a big difference. That really will. That's going to not only help them in the standings, but now you're winning against teams that are on the top of your division. You don't want to go out and lose to teams that are in the same conference as you in football or in the same division as you in basketball. These are the teams that you need to beat, and the same thing stands with hockey. You got to go out and make a stand against teams that are in the same area as you. You got to go out. You got to win the division. That should be the number one task on everybody's mind. during the regular season. So yes, it should be looked at as a must win for the Avs. Definitely. I definitely agree with you there. That's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. We'll be back with you guys again tomorrow, recapping hopefully an Avalanche win and then previewing the next Nuggets game. And then we'll talk a little bit more about some football. Let's see what the Broncos can do looking forward into the offseason. But that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily. I will see you guys all tomorrow. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.